Hey, good morning, morena. How are you? Rei te poito moi. I hope you had yourself a good sleep last night. And it's warm water and milk for me this morning because I've got to stop drinking too much coffee. Okay, so in regards to your life, my life, and corruption, corruption is always going to exist. But are you ready? But it really only exists when good people do nothing about it. And so, what is corruption, though? It's corruption could be a mixture of lies, deception, mainly, I suppose, lies, trying to swindle things out of somebody. You know, it's there's an actual company in India, all day and every day. What they do is ring up people to scam them. It's amazing why people haven't gone in there and closed them down and arrested them and put them in prison. This is happening like a full-time, like how I'm going out there to build business, to help people, to mowing their lawns, cleaning their windows, water blasting and so forth, and at a better rate than my competitors and doing a better job. There are people going out there simply to sit down on the desk somewhere in front of a computer to rip people off. And this is happening and no one's doing anything about it. There's this big corrupt organisation in Thorndon. It looks like a beehive, and a lot of this. But what amazing! I was talking to this guy. He was the accountant for the city council, and he was running for mayor, or his group was, and he told me that just how loosely pretty much without him saying it, he actually told me quite clearly that the funds in city council are just, it's just, if you're dealing with millions of dollars from taxpayers' money going into a particular group of people, and he was just, and he was their accountant, and he was telling me, he said, it's so much unaccounted money. Even my partner works for city council, and she told me, things that go on there at a very high level, So, and yet the person who's the person, the little young the person in the low income area breaking to someone's home, which you should never do, take their TV, gets caught, stands in front of a judge, and they put him in prison, or but these people who are committing humongous amount of financial fraud are walking free. Actually they get to go to their job the next day. So in regards to this reporter, John Weeks, his surname is Weekes. It actually should be Weak. The reason why I say that is because this is what I said to one of my friends. I said, look, anyone who commits crime or corruption never gets away with it. You never do. I said, what do you mean? Well, this is what really happens is that every time you've lied or committed crime, straight away you have now diminished your energy, your mana, your self-respect, your confidence. Have you seen a confident criminal walking around and being a motivational speaker? It'll be very difficult to do that. And I'm not saying there are people, actually mostly people who are quite confident, but they know they're ripping people off, and they're called real estate agents. I'm just pulling a leg. So you see corruption everywhere. But, I'm saying SCNZ, Stop Corruption NZ. Ultimate goal really is to police. Sometimes you have to police the police. Humans are humans, but that's no excuse for being an absolute scumbag or corrupt person. Sorry for that heavy word. Some people can't handle heavy words. But remember this, the early worm gets the worm. What's the worm? The worm is your mission, your goal. As used as a analogy or methodology. Anyway, so are you ready? Just a little bit about myself. I'm one of those guys who really can't lie. And it's either in you or it's not in you. maybe that's it. And me and as a young boy, my two older brothers, next to our house in Tukumaru Bay was this old building, but it used to be a bank. And it was empty, obviously. So we broke in it. It was an amazing building built, though. Back in those days, they were good carpenters, So we made a mess in there, and but then eventually I went to school, and then someone found out, so we had to go to the principal's office, and my two older brothers were saying, "Don't tell, don't tell." As soon as I sat down, I told straight away the thing. Yeah, we did it, and I'm happy I'm like that. When I was in my teens, broke the law. I walked into the police station, headed myself in, walked straight in. She goes, the police lady goes, just beep, beep. She was in a mood. She came in, she goes, "Can I help you?" I said, "My name's Derek William. My name's Derek Redditor. Broke the law. This is what I did." And they couldn't find it on a computer. Then they eventually did. Then basically I got a slap on the hand, basically, really. So you never get away with your lies, even if it's in emails. You never get away, because every time you lie, you reduce your mana. Your character is affected negatively, and ultimately, what you sow is what you're going to reap. So, if you want to live powerful, if you want to live in the ihi mode, that's in like your synergy, if you want to live in that, you've got to live straight to the point. What I mean by straight to the point is you've got to be you. The only way you can be you, and for the energy to shine, and to because it's really that what you visualize, you'll materialize, and you want to make sure that that's a clear portal of what you're going to project. I'm a TPC mindset coach and TPC business coach, soon to be a TPC fitness coach. I was a Les Mill instructor in the day, and I was very invested. And what I found with this, Flexi Wage self-employment, great program. It's been set up to help people transition into being self-employed, but there's so much that needs to be implemented within the system. It's just poorly established. It really is. From the first time I sat with the business coach, nice guy, but he didn't have a diary. I actually showed up with a diary. I said, "This guy's got nothing." And a diary is important because you can track your process. And we just kind of talking, great, all that stuff. And pretty much the second time was like that. And prior to I was sending him texts to links, no reply. I realised that obviously I'm not I'm coming through the wrong portal. I'm not a private paid customer, giving him a lot more money. I'm not saying that could be a factor, but there was no specific clear guideline called, "Hey mate, here's this list that you basically let's go through exactly the process of what's going to take place here." The first 3 months. This is what we're going to work on. You presenting, it's got a P&L, also meet your bank statement in a financial report. So this is going to happen in 3 months from now. Okay, so I need you just to tick. There's a tick box. You just want to put it print it all out and have that person tick that box. What that does, it reitifies. It basically what it does. Two things. It's accountability. It makes the recipient, i.e. self-employed fixed wage person, accountable. You've ticked the box. And also with the business coach, you don't, it said, "Well, buddy, you tick the box. You've got a form, I've got a form, and it's signed." That's how you're meant to do business. I'm amazed that this is not implemented. And this guy's a business coach for MSD. I was actually, in my 30s, I was a work broker for Wins. Actually, not directly. I worked for a trust, and we were contracted to Wins. And I was a work broker. And I'm a very invested person. I believe that people's success becomes my success. And I actually said to the business coach, I said, "Mate, do you care about what you do?" Because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So I've got to stop ranting about this particular business coach. And like I said, but those basic things aren't implemented. It's the most. I'm like, for a guy like me, I feel like I felt like, so what the f is going on here? And now we're emailing back. I'm trying to explain. I said, look, we're just wasting so much valuable time because simple things aren't put in place. I actually spoke to one of the people work for Wins, and I said to them, look, give me some people. I'm going to help them now in regards to getting into business. I'll just get them out. I run MSC Man Support Team. None of the guys work, but that cycle has to be broken. What I think needs to be implemented most importantly is anyone who's on a benefit should be doing 3 days a week voluntary work. Or else they won't receive their benefit. Why? It's obvious. There's no why in that. It's actually quite obvious. What that would do would get them to start building a work ethic again. And so this is my whole plan, is to catch up with Luxton, catching up with Campbell this week, Mayor of Lower Hutt, then eventually Luxton. Because obviously I can see in regards to his mindset regarding unemployment. I know exactly where he's coming from. He's dead because he's been in business. In my head, I have the same business background, obviously very different, but I can definitely sell better than the guy. But I can see what the program that I'm going to develop and present to him will be pretty much on the same kaupapa as I believe what they're working on now, the National Party. So it's about transitioning people from breaking that cycle, then transitioning. A lot of it is mindset developing as well. It's all that stuff, because you got to build belief. You got to build belief, and you have to build. Belief is paramount, because if they don't believe they can, they can. If they don't believe they can't, they can't. Based on what's on Henry Ford's one of his favorite quotes: "If they believe they can, they can." So you got to believe that. You got to build that belief first, because everything starts in the mind. Everything, where the mind goes, your body follows.